Okay, Maps4FS update video. Since the last time I showed you how to use this, there's been an awful lot of changes, a lot of things added to it, a lot of things that you can do, and I think it's the reason for some of the questions I'm getting where people are not getting things coming up the way they should do. So what we're going to do first is, as you can see, we're already here, and we've got extra things. If you go back to the first video, we've got new things here. Immediately you can see them. Also, I just want to go over this quickly. If you come here, there is pretty much the answer to every question you have for this app. We've got the FAQs here, and you've also got the GitHub, which is linked. Where is it? There it is, GitHub repository. Alright, so if you just click on that, it'll come up and it'll be here, and pretty much everything is here. If you got stuck and you wanted a quick answer rather than asking me, you could come here and have a look and see if, well, the answer is here. I know the answer's here because I've looked at it several times to get answers for myself. So yeah, just be aware that there is many answers. Okay, he doesn't scrimp at all on being very in-depth on how to use this. So that's just getting that bit out of the way. If you've got a question, come and have a look here first. If it's not here, which I'm sure it will be, but if it's not here, then come to me or go to Iwatkot, and he'll have an answer for sure. I try to get the answers. Anyway, let's stop waffling. Let's have a quick look at this and see what differences there are. So we've got DEM settings, we've got background settings, we've got GRLE settings, i3D settings, texture settings, spline settings, and satellite settings. What we're going to do is we're going to just download our area without changing any settings first. And then I'm going to show you what's missing and what's not missing. And then I'll show you what you need to do with these to fix most of the problems. So first of all, we're going to get our, that's the wrong one already, Ceebur. We're going to get our coordinates, and these coordinates are for the Bauer location. As you can see there, it's slightly out, but it's good enough. So the reason I've chosen this is because we already know this map area. I'm going to carry on with the 2048 in size, and then the next thing that I'm going to do, which is different to what I did before, is I'm going to come here to select the DTM provider, and we're going to click on this, and it's going to give us a drop down now, and we have 4 choices here. Because this is in England, UK, I would highly recommend that you click on that for your DTM provider, okay? And that will give us the most accurate for the area in the UK. Now I know when you go to different places all over the world, wherever you're planning on making your map, there will be different DTM providers that you can choose from. There will be lots. Some only have 1, some have 2, some have 4, as you just saw there. Okay, so we're gonna generate as it is and just let it do its thing. Is it doing its thing? Your position? Oh, we're queued. Okay, well, let's just let it do its thing then. Okay, so that is now generated, and as you can see, we've got all our bits and pieces here, which we're going to need. And another thing that I should have pointed out at the start of the video is that you can actually move this and find where you want to go to, which I don't think you could do before. I think you just had to put it in. You could change the kind of direction, so you could change the north and everything. And also, if you want to go on to satellite, you can just come to this and go on to click satellite, and that will show you, but it doesn't give you any. Let's just do it so you can see. Come on, there you go. It doesn't give you any names of roads or places or anything, so you really need to do it with the OpenStreetMap bit, so you can see where you are first, and then if you want to see on the satellite exactly what you've got included, then go to satellite. So anyway, that is done, so we're gonna download it, which takes a couple of seconds, and then once we've got it downloaded, we're going to inspect it. Downloads, drag down to the desktop, close you down. I'm going to open with WinRAR. Open. No, I don't want to pay for it. Extract to new folder. Okay. Close that down. Alright, so we'll put that next to that. Let's have a look in this folder now. So we have our background folder, which has got full, not resized, not subtracted. The full is the one that, no, it hasn't, nope, that's not the OBJ. Okay, so it's not give us the OBJ. So that is one thing that is missing. We also don't have the image, background image. So map configs, previews, satellite, which is where your image should be, so you don't get that, right? And then you've got your scripts, which it makes for you, and then you've got your water. Alright, so the next step from here is for us to have a look at it in the editor. So we'll just open it up, we'll have a quick peruse of the situation. Hurry up, giants. Well, this is standard procedure for giants. Nice to know that they never let us down. Are we there yet? No, there we go. Okay, let's shrink you down. Let's come out of here. Okay, so we've got all our fields again. Let's get rid of the purple haze. And we can see we're looking actually a little bit better than the one we had before, right? We've got a lot more definition here. This is Burrow Hill. This is why Burrow is called Burrow. We've got trees, and they're all in the right place. They're not hovering, so that's a plus. We've got a much better kind of field layout. We've got all of the ditches put in, nice. We've got all of our farms in here nicely. The tracks look much better than they did, so it's given us a much better job, right? This isn't nasty. And I found out this is actually a river, but it's in comparison to our original version. It's nowhere near as deep. This is laid out much better. So yeah, this is great. This is a vast improvement. We have much better road layout here, right? Nice indentation of the roads, banks and everything all here. It needs tidying up for sure, but this is a much better job. Okay, a much better job. I don't know what this mound here is about, but it's much flatter on the farm areas for sure. Look at this. This is fantastic. This is real good. Right, this is really good. Really good. I'm impressed with this. This has done a much better job than I was not that I was expecting, but yeah, I wasn't expecting. Okay, Ceebur, you don't know what you're talking about. Right, so we've got our fields, we've got our trees. We don't have many trees, but there isn't actually that many trees in that area, other than in this area. It's much better, right? Much better already. Fantastic. Okay, so I might have to restart my map based off of this. Got the river here as well. Much cleaner, much better, and that's probably because it's coming off of that UK DTM. It wasn't before. All right, so yeah, I'm happy with that. In fact, I'm real happy with that. So we'll get rid of that. Save changes? No. We'll close that down. And well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll delete that one, but we'll keep the zipped file. Right. Next, let's come in. Let's come back here. So we're going to keep our same coordinates. All right. We're going to keep the same UK DTM provider. And if you do find any problems with the DTMs or anything like that you're using, the DEMs, DTM, DGMs, or wherever it happens to come from, here you'll have the author of who's uploaded those, and then you can send them a message and say, hey, there's a problem, something's not working right here or whatever, and hopefully they'll fix it. Okay, so that is that. That is that. So let's have a look in here, the DEM settings. So if you read through it, you'll see that this will adjust the level, height scales and stuff of your DEMs and stuff like that. It's changed the ceiling, the water depth, and blur radius as well. Blur radius is used to blur the elevation map without blurring the terrain. It may look too sharp and unrealistic, right? I kind of liked the way it was there with the blur radius of 3. So this is all the presets. We've got the plateau at 0. Everything I was really happy with, even with the water depth of those rivers and ditches and stuff. Minimum height scale, happy with that too. Okay, so I think we'll leave that as it is. I don't think that needs adjusting. Background settings. Right, so we already know that we didn't have the OBJ files because we checked, right? So generate background, the water planes OBJ files will be generated. Yes, we want them, so check it. Generate the water. Yes, we want the water. Okay, turn it off. So we want those, so you make sure that they're checked. So this is where I think people are getting lost a little bit, is the fact that they're not checking these. So you're not getting them in your files and you're not finding them. Okay, so we make sure that they are checked. We want the center removed because that's going to help us tremendously, so we don't have to do that. Decimation percentage. Value is used to set the decimation percentage. The higher the value, the more decimated the model will be. Be careful with high values, because it may completely break the model. Alright? We have a recommended decimation of 25%. I'm going to stick with that. I don't see any reason why we should change it. Decimation aggression. The value is used to set decimation aggression. The higher, the more faces will be removed. Note, the higher values will break the geometry. So we don't really want to change this either. We don't want to make it higher, I don't think. So I think 3 is probably going to be our best friend here. So do we apply it? Yeah. Alright, so there we go. We'll close that down. GRLE settings. Okay, so farmland margins. Now, I noticed with those fields that they were all kind of like butted up against each other. Whether they won't be linked, they should be separated. But we don't want them that close because we've got hedges and stuff and ditches. So farmland margin, let's see what it says. So the farmland margin value is used to add some margin around the farmland. It can be used because it can be useful because without the margin the farmland will end exact on the same position as the field ends. Right, that's what I was just saying, and it can cause some issues with the gameplay. Units are in meters. Okay, so farmland margin, well, let's think to ourselves. The ditch is approximately 2 meters across roughly when you take in the bank and everything. So let's say 4. I think 4 is a good figure. So you've got your ditch and then you've got a meter either side of your 2 meter ditch. Actually perhaps 5. I think 5 will be better. If random plants are enabled, I don't think we want random plants because that's going to come under your personal decoration. As much as I like having the trees because that puts them roughly in the right places, okay, I don't so much like having all of the foliage on the ground because one, it covers up areas when we're trying to work on it and trying to make it look like we want it to be, and you kind of lose perception of what's going on, like when we were doing the roads the other day. So personally I would rather not have any foliage other than the trees down and then put in everything else myself. It's not a deal breaker, but if we can eliminate some of those things like the random plants, I'm not going to have them come in. I don't need them. Add farmyards. So this is pricing. Okay, so add farmyards, base price value to set base price of the farmland. It will be I think we'll add the farmyards. I think they were already in there, but we'll add them anyway. It will be used. Oh, sorry, the base price isn't to do with that. So base price value is used to set the base price of farmland. It will be used to calculate the final price of the farmland. Units, in-game currency, euro or US dollars. Canadian dollars are much better. Anyway, we'll not dwell on that subject. So the base price, I think we'll just leave the base price at around 60,000, okay? Because we're going to have to change it here, there and everywhere. So if we just leave it, we've got a figure in there that we can work with, and it gives us something to look for when we're looking for those prices to change. So 60,000, we'll leave it at that. Price scale 100. What does that do then? Price scale value is a percentage value that will be applied to the price of the farmland based on the base price farmland's XML. To make the farmland more expensive, make this value higher than 100. To make it cheaper, make it lower than 100. We'll just leave it at 100. Select the plant that will be used as a base grass. Handy. Small dense mix. Let's see, small dense mix or meadow. I think I'm going to stick with the small dense mix. Might help us eliminate some of that perception issue that we had, I hope. Plants island minimum size value is used to set minimum size of plants. Size selected, it will be lowest possible. Units, plants island minimum size. Let's take that down to 5. Plants island maximum size. Set the maximum size of the plants island where random size of the island will be selected. Not overly sure what he means by island, but I'm going back to my original statement of making things easier to see. Let's take that down to 100. Plants island vertex count. Used to set the number of vertices of the plants. The higher the value. Hold on a minute. I think I know what this is. Okay. I think we'll leave everything else as it is for a minute. Value used relation between the map size and number of plants. Yeah, well, I think this isn't very explanatory as to what they are. I think this might be something to do with the way it spreads. So we'll leave it like that for the rest of it for now. Okay, so GRLE settings we have finished with. I3D settings. Okay, now this could be the answer to some of you guys who are saying I've got no trees. Okay, so forest density value represents the distance between trees in the forest. The higher the value, the more sparse the forest will be, and less trees will be generated. So if you have come in here yourself and edited this and said you want more or whatever and change these values, it could be the reason why you're not generating the trees on your map. Alright, so when we did it, it looked like I had the right amount of trees to what the area has. And if you want more trees, you can add more trees. It's not particularly difficult, but you don't want to overdo it, because like it says just here, it will not which, it will cause performance issues, okay, even in the editor. So I'm going to leave these settings as they are, but if you've been having problems, definitely come and check this and edit it, and just try it and see what happens. That's the only thing that I can suggest, is to try that and see what happens. So texture settings. If texture dissolving is enabled, the textures will be split between different files. It makes them look better in game, but it will require some time. It's recommended to keep this option enabled. Field padding. I can't enable it. So this is going to be one of these things that you can only do if you do it through what's it called? Through docking. So you can use this through docking, which I don't think you need to do. It adds more complication to it, and for me anyway. So that is that. Now we're having a connection issue. I'm sure we'll be alright in a minute. There we go. If skip drains enabled, ditches will be ignored while generating it. Oh, okay. So we do not want to skip the drains because we really like those ditches, or I did anyway. Okay, so we'll leave that like that. Spline settings. If you want, you can mess around with this. I'm going to be putting in my own splines, as you already know, so this isn't too much of an issue for me, but you can, follow through, add the spline settings, or do whatever, add reversed splines. I'm not going to change any of this, I'm just going to leave it as it is. And then satellite settings. Okay, we want this image. All right, then this is what eliminates using QGIS. So download the image generator, satellite images, download images. Satellite margin value in meters is used to add some margin around the satellite images. It will result satellite images to be bigger than the map size, which can be useful for adjusting the images. Okay, So I think we'll just go up by 2. Satellite zoom level is used to set the zoom level of the satellite images. The higher the value, the more detailed the images will be. Be careful with high values because it may result in very large images and super long download time. Units in integer value? Maximum recommended value is 18. We can't do that with the public version. You can only change this with the Docker, but the zoom level is set at 16, so I would say that that is a pretty good level. Actually, if it's recommending 18, 16 is there and thereabouts, so let's go with it. Now when you click generate, because of all these changes that we've done, it's gonna add a lot of stuff to be done to this. It's gonna take a longer time, and I'm probably going to go into a queue, so I will skip and then we'll just go into downloading it. Okay, here we go then. So you can already see that we have a little bit more to work with. Okay, so we've got all our DEM bits, our field and land areas, farmland areas and such, and then our waterways and things here. We also have our satellite images. We've got a near and a far, you can see just here. So this is a close-up, this is further away, and we have our background, which has the middle cut out already. So that has eliminated a process for us to do. It's disappeared. What the heck? So, well, anyway, let's hope it works. Oh, it's because we've disconnected from it again. I was having an issue this evening and I'm not sure why. Let's get this downloaded pretty sharpish. Uh-oh. A connection error. Well, I've never seen this before. There we go, we're back again. Let's get it. Oh, no, file wasn't available on the site. Okay, that sucks. Alright. Alright, it's all already, it's still how I set it up, so I'm going to do that again, and then wonder what's going on. It might be the weather. We've got some horrendous snow going on and wind at the moment. Try one more time. Here we go, she's just packing the map now. Let's click download before it gives us any more trouble. Hooray. Right, shut you down. Download documents. What is the difference? Oh, okay. Open. Nope, you fool. I got all of flustered by it not working properly. It's thrown me off balance. Extract to a new folder. Okay. Bring you over here. Open you up. Right, now let's have a look in here. So in background we should have our OBJ. There she is, 3D object. So that's the one you use in Blender. Okay. And then we want satellite. There they are. There's our satellite images. Fantastic. Okay. What have we got in water? We got the water planes and elevated water, so that's helpful. That's all in there, nice and ready to go. Let's look at our scripts. They're same ships as they were before. Previews. Very nice, very nice. Dem scales. Yep, okay. Info layers. Alright, so we need to open up our map. And we need to open it, and then we need to save it, which will give us all a lot more things to work with. It should do. Anyway. Hurry up, giants. There we go. Right. So, what has it done for... So, on painting the fields, it hasn't changed anything, but it will have separated them from being joined together. In will you show me points? There we go. So yeah, you can see, let's go back to point 1. Point 1. No, point 1 looks like it's still in the middle of the ditch, eh? Possibly that hasn't worked quite as well as you may have anticipated, Ceebur. Anyway. Again, I'm still really happy with the way it's laid out. We're going to have to do some smoothing. See, we've got some slight ripples and things, but I went over and smoothed the whole map before. It's just a case of you're going to have to smooth the fields out. But the lumps and bumps are there for a reason, so you can see the ploughed fields are pretty much flat, right? Okay, so that has all worked, and there's tracks and stuff, you'll see. It's very helpful. It's very helpful. It's not put in all the tracks and stuff. But anyway, where was there was an area, wasn't there, that it didn't, it was here. It was here. And again, it's done it. So we've got this road that comes in much more defined in comparison to previously. We've got a few things missing from here. So there is a way that you can do this. I've not got involved in it, and I'm not going to show you how to do it, but I will tell you if you wanted to. See, we've lost that big pondy thing that was weird. Let's just quickly go back here. So the OSM file, OpenStreetMap. You can go to OpenStreetMap. I have not created an account because I'm not interested in doing this. But you can come here and you can open up an account. It's free. You can go in, and then, like for instance, we are looking at, whoop, easy tiger, that specific area, which is, where is New Cross? Is it New Cross? Let's just have a look. No, it's not. It's the New Cross is up there. Okay, so we are looking at this. There's New Cross. It must be this area. Okay, so there's that body of water that when you look at it on the map, it doesn't show it. But anyway, this is upside down to the way we're looking at it here. So let's do it a bit better. Okay, so you can see this isn't painted in. this area isn't painted in the farm, right? It's not quite the same. So what you can do is you can come into here, and Iwatkot has a video on how to do this, but you can come into here when you've got your account and you can tell this that this is a farm. So you can, or not a farm, but like for instance houses, and then when it goes back on to here, it will put it in and make sure that it comes up, and then it will tell you that it is a farm or house area that you have added. Right, so if there was a building here and it's missed it out, you can draw this building in on OpenStreetMap like here, and then say building or shed or whatever, and then when you save it to here, and then when it goes to your coordinates, this sounds really complicated, but this is how it works. When it goes to your coordinate area, it will pick up that this is a new area which has been picked out as being a specific area, and include it in your download, which will add it into here. Alright, I know it sounded well complicated, right? But that's how it works. This is nice. It's given us a nice little lip around the edge. I like that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to, unfortunately, because I haven't got too far into the map, I'm gonna have to redo this and use this, because this is much better for sure. Anyway, I hope that has answered some questions and helped you sort your map out. Let's close you down again. Let's close you down again. Let's close that. Let's reopen it so that we can be back in here. Alright, so let's just recap on this. Your background is here. This is your full OBJ. This is what you will use in Blender. Okay, and here's your satellite images. Which one is this? So that's a 680, and that is the high. That's a 1020. That should be big enough. You may need, actually, no. We're gonna need the more larger file than that. 1020. You could probably work with that to create your image to go on your background, right? And they will certainly be good enough to do your map image for your in-game HUD display. So yes, hopefully that helps. I know that we put our background image in. No, we didn't. Where did we put our background image? That's where we added it into here. Background files we made up, didn't we? There we go. So you would do all the same thing. This is a super large file. 6144 8192. Yeah, I think you might need to download to go with a higher satellite image. Zoom level settings is disabled. Ah, see, you need to do it through the Docker. So you may want to use QGIS still to get your image. It would be used for adjusting the images. Maybe up this one. Give that a try. I'm going to be playing around with it to see to see. But yeah, I really hope that has helped. If you've got any questions, or if you find out anything that I didn't go over and you want to add it, just add it in the comments. I know everybody's reading them and going through and seeing what they can find. We're all a community. Let's help each other out. If you find something out, let's let us all know and we'll talk about it. Alright? Thanks for watching, everyone.